Hello, welcome to Board Games with Niramas. I'm Joseph and I'm here in Essen Spiel with Draco, of course, but also with Rob.
Hey, how you doing?
And we're checking out the White Wizard booth. Really cool stuff, a lot of games that I just love and so on. So basically today, first of all, we're going to talk about Star Realms. And yeah, tell us about the Frontiers.
Okay, so we have a bunch of exciting new sets for Star Realms. So last year we did a big Kickstarter for Star Realms and got a ton of backing and ended up coming out with a lot of new stuff. So the first item is Star Realms Frontiers. This is a standalone expansion for Star Realms. So you could play this as your very first Star Realms set, or you could add it to your Star Realms collection. It's compatible with every Star Realms set we've done so far. And the first thing a Star Realms veteran will notice about this is it's got a nice hard box. So this contains enough cards for 4 players. Unlike the 2-player regular ones, and the box is a standard box material. It's still relatively small, so you can fit it in like a jacket pocket or the outside pocket of a backpack, but it is about twice as big as the original Star Realms. So inside the box, you've got the rule book, and this is a nice full-color rule book. Containing all the rules for 2-player, all the way up to 6-player play for Star Realms, and we've got, of course, all new ships and bases. So lots of awesome new cards for Star Realms, and we have a new mechanic in this set called the double ally ability. So some of your cards, in addition to having a standard ally ability that'll trigger from having one other card of that faction in play, there's a secondary ally ability on some cards with 2 symbols on it, and to activate that one you'll need 2 or more other cards of that faction in play. And you can activate a regular ally ability and a double ally ability in the same turn if you have enough cards of that color in play. So all 80 cards are all new, and like with all the Star Realms stuff, really cool art on all the cards. We've got new scorecards in here that are easier to use. So got 4 players worth of those, and the way these guys work is you take the 1-digit card and you take the 10-digit card on top. So for example, if you were at 55, you would do it like that. And then if you took 10 points of damage, you'd go down to 45. If you then took 2 more, you'd go down to 43, etc. So you just line up the 2 cards. So you can go all the way up to 79 using these 2 cards, and then if you flip this one over, it's got plus 80 authority on that side. So if you go above 80, you can. So for example, if I was at 85, I would do that, and so on up. So these are a nice, convenient way to track your authority.
Yeah, I really like that system. I mean, comparing to the first when the Star Realm came out, you know, all the little fiddly.
Those fiddly little cards. At first, we weren't going to have any scorecards in Star Realms. We were just going to, use a pencil, paper, whatever, to keep track. And then we were trading card game players, we're big Magic players, and we would occasionally, if we didn't have anything to track our score, we'd just take some extra Magic cards, and we'd have them sideways, upside down, or backwards, or sideways to represent different numbers. And so we just used a system like that because it was something we were familiar with and it was easy to include. But it was way too fiddly and way too mathy. These are way better, take up less paper, and are much easier to use. And you also have 4 players worth of starting decks in here, and plenty of explorers for a 4-player game, all included in this box. So this is a complete 4-player set, and it's also got something really exciting. It's got these new oversized challenge cards. So there are 8 different ones. Each of these is a different challenge you can play, solo or cooperative. So basically you can play against the game by yourself or with up to 4 people total. Each challenge has special rules on the back, which tell you a bit about that particular challenge, and there's also a section in the rule book for each of the challenges. So the back half of the rule book is devoted to the challenge cards, and we have rules for each individual challenge with a little bit of backstory on what's flavor on what's happening in that challenge, and then challenge setup and order play stuff. This set has a ton of play, so you can do 2, 3, or 4 player Star Realms right out of the box, and anybody who's played Star Realms knows you can play that game dozens or hundreds of times really easily. And then it also has these awesome challenge cards for cooperative play, solo play. So just phenomenal amount of play out of the box. Really great set to pick up.
I'm really excited for the solo, and I know that a lot of people. There's been so many people in my gaming group and so that picked up the Hero Realms Ruins of Thandar because of that cooperative nature of it. It's just, yeah, that's great. I'm excited for that with Star Realms as well. So
yeah. So and these are individual missions, so they're not an ongoing story where you're gaining experience and stuff like you do in Hero Realms, but they're all different and really cool. So you can try all of them, and they each give you a different play experience. We also have 6 new command decks. These allow you to play as a legendary commander in Star Realms. Legendary commanders are extraordinarily skillful military leaders, much more powerful than a standard player. So, for example, we have Biolord Walsh from the Unity pack. When you're playing as Biolord Walsh, you'll have a 6-card hand and start with 70 authority. He has his own authority cards, and the starting authority is marked in yellow, so it's easy to get going. And then each commander has their own personal deck. It does have some 4 scouts and a Viper, so it's got some standard cards, but all the rest of the cards in the 12-card starting deck are unique cards for that commander. And you'll notice that in their starting deck they have faction cards. So Biolord Walsh prefers Blob and Machine Cult. He can still buy cards of any faction, play cards of any faction. However, you're starting with some Blob and Cult cards in your starting deck. So if you buy more of them, it'll be easier to trigger ally abilities. You also have some factionless cards that ally off of your starting factions. Each one has a unique deck which has a preference for a specific 2-color combo. So there's 6 different commanders, 1 for every 2-color combination in the game. Each commander also has 2 gambits that are unique to that commander. So, for example, Biolord Walsh has Unity Warcraft, which means for the entire game, all of your bases get +1 defense, and all your opponent's bases get -1 defense. So bases are just going to be significantly better for you than they are for your opponent. Each commander also has a one-time use gambit. So Walsh's Stratagem, you can scrap it, you get 2 trade. It counts as playing a Machine Cult and a Blob card, so it'll help you trigger your ally abilities. And it says put the next base you acquire this turn directly into play. So if you end up buying a base in this turn where you've got the 2 extra trade, you can put it right into play, and of course that base will be enhanced by your Unity Warcraft. So each legendary commander has a really different play field because they'll have different starting authority, different gambits, and a different starting deck. So that combination is really cool. And as an extra bonus, and this was something that was added because of the Kickstarter, we have an 8-cost megaship in every pack. And this does not start in the Biolord Walsh deck. when playing with Biolord Walsh, you take this card and you add it into the market deck. So you could, so if the player playing Biolord Walsh could get it, or their opponent could potentially buy it. You'd love to get it in that it's in the colors that match your legendary commander, but it's just an extra cool big card for the deck. We recommend that you only add these when playing that particular legendary commander. Otherwise, you're gonna, if you played with all of them at once, you'd have a lot of 8-cost ships in your market deck, which could be a little too expensive. That all that comes in the deck. The legendary commanders are, as I said, significantly more powerful than a regular deck, so you can either play them against another legendary commander, or you can take on 2 players at once who are playing standard starting decks. So you can do a 3-player game, 2-on-1, 2 regular players versus 1 legendary commander. So you can get all of these and have lots of cool choices for legendary commanders to play and do commander versus commander games. You could get just 1 and do commander versus 2 players. You get 2 to just play against each other. A lot of cool options with these guys, and these are retailing for $6. And then finally, the last item we have coming out for Star Realms is the Universal Storage Box. So one of the cool things about Star Realms is it comes in a small box. It's highly portable, nice game to throw in your backpack, whatever. But over the years, we've come out with a lot of sets, and our fans on the Kickstarter were like, "Hey, can we please get a giant box that can hold everything?" So we made the Universal Storage Box, and this will hold every Star Realms set we've ever made in sleeves. You can also fit a playmat in there and have plenty of room left over for future expansions. We'll open it up and take a look inside. So, box has the nice little cutout so that it's easier to open. Lots of space inside, and it's got these foam blocks which help. So let's say you had maybe enough Star Realms cards to go up to there. You just put a couple foam blocks in to keep the card steady. It comes with an expansion pack with 15 cards and tokens for the game. And it also comes with these plastic dividers. These guys are really cool. They've got art, so we've got one for every set. They're a nice hard plastic, so and you can. We've got dividers that are meant for your for the decks that you play with. So we've got separators for your scorecards, your trade deck, your personal decks, etc. So the decks that you can play, you can keep in a special section, ready to go. And then if there's other sets that you don't play with every time, we've got dividers for every single set we've ever made. So you can, and they all have the faction symbol on them, or the expansion symbol on them, so you can easily tell which sets your cards came from, and you can organize all the extra cards by set with the dividers. As I said, you can do in about a row and a half, you can do every Star Realms card we've ever made in sleeves, and then this is long enough to hold a playmat. So if you roll up your playmats, you can put them in an extra row, and you'll have room for other games or more Star Realms expansions in the future, so you won't have to buy a new box when we come out with more sets. So.
Well, that looks amazing, and it looks really sturdy.
Super sturdy. We went through 4 iterations on this with the factory to get it, just right, strong, and perfect size for the cards with or without sleeves, etc. So this is a great item, and this one retails for $30. So.
All right. Well. Thank you so much to Rob for all that Star Realms. So cool, so much cool stuff. And I haven't played. I played the base game, of course, and so on. I played some expansion, I think, but there's so much new cool stuff, and I really like these. It's a bit like the characters in Hero Realms as well.
It's a little bit like a mashup between a character pack and a boss deck from Star Realms. So from Hero Realms, the Hero Realms characters are designed to improve over time and gain experience, and these guys are at the top of their game.
They're strong from the get-go, and
So basically these guys start out as super powerful, advanced individuals. So you can really have a very powerful game. It's like when you start out playing with these guys, it's like the mid game with a regular deck. You're doing powerful stuff right from turn one. So.
All right. Well, I'm really excited for this stuff. I hope that you are as well. And of course, there'll be more Star Realms videos coming on the channel in the future as well. Thank you so much to Rob, and we'll be back talking about Hero Realms, I guess, in the next video. So check that out as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening or morning, or whenever you're watching this. Take care. Bye bye.
Do you want to keep this little dragon this happy all day long? Then like the video. Board Games with Niramas is sponsored by Alara Games in Sweden.